Hello nerds! This is the music section that has been taken from the main channel at Generally Nerdy here on the YouTubes, or you can go find it on Rumble or wherever else. This is the music section. It was taken from a much larger video that I like to call The Weekend Nerddom. That's available on the main channel. While you're here, don't forget to stick around afterwards because there's a lot of exclusive content on this channel that only exists here. So go check out some of that once you're done here. Either way, let's talk about the music news, shall we?
So let's start with music news. I do have a correction to make in the music news. So I made we did the reaction the reaction review short bit last week about the Typo Negative song that they just released the live walk-in open air performance from. I did not do my due diligence and I was called out for it. So the song that they released is Love You to Death. That was correct. The incorrect part was what record it originally comes from. The record it originally comes from is from October Rust, not Dead Again. It was not their final record. It was, I believe, their second or third record. So yeah, my apologies for not doing that diligence. My source was incorrect, I'm sure for similar reasons, and I just did not do the diligence to double check which record that came from. So thank you very much for calling me out for it in the comment section, specifically on the short, but you know, either way, this is the long form and here we are. Yeah, that's our only follow-up or correction. So let's talk about new music. In new music, we are talking first about a new The Used song. The Used has put out a new song called People Are Vomit. Link to the video is down in the description. I think it was actually just a lyric video, so if you just want to go find it on your favorite streaming service, then that's fine. But it's coming from their upcoming album, Toxic Positivity. Record is due out May 19th, and I honestly have never been a Used fan. I know that's going to get me some negative comments, but I don't really care. Just never, Burt McCracken just didn't do much for me. Still doesn't really do all that much for me, but this though is a little bit more palatable to me than previous outings from The Used. That being said, it is much more radio friendly all at the same time as far as like general sound. I know the vocabulary used is not exactly radio friendly, but they've never had issue getting play on alternative radio stations, so that shouldn't be a huge deal. If you were not a fan of The Used previously, but you like the subgenre that they birthed known as Screamo, people are going to take issue with that statement as well, but that's the truth, then you'll probably want to give this one a second chance. If you are not much for the Screamo, then you're still not going to like The Used. I'm sorry. Our next piece of new music comes from a new act that I have only recently found, very specifically because this was pushed at me, I believe, from blabbermouth.net and then also in the YouTube algorithm, and that is Kim Dracula is the name of the artist, and the song is 70 Thorns. This song features the likes of Jonathan Davis. Who is this and how did they get Jonathan Davis to do guest vocals? I do not know. I do believe I read somewhere that Kim Dracula came up on TikTok, which is kind of the way you do it anymore, and I'm very intrigued by this act. This is definitely not for people without ADHD. So if you have a pretty normative brain, then it's prog, but it's not prog like you're thinking. It is very much genre hopping kind of sound that is very intriguing and has almost a neo-goth kind of feel to it at times, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I'm digging it. I'm getting down to most of the music. Very specifically, this 70 Thorns song is very well produced, is very well done, sounds like a lot of fun. I'm very intrigued what a live show would be from Kim Dracula, and this is worth a listen if you have the stomach for breakneck changes from genre to genre, not just time signature to time signature. Then we're talking about a new song from Dope. We got a new Static X song last week, so a new Dope song makes sense. And in the same vein, even there, we have a cover from Dope, much like we had Static X covering last week as well. This is Dope covering The Cure's Love Song. Again, link in the description. Pretty standard metal cover of this. It's also featuring some other, probably electronic group that I didn't really recognize, but kind of. And that's, I mean, if you don't like The Cure, this isn't going to change your mind. If you don't like Dope, this definitely isn't going to change your mind. It's pretty standard. It's nothing crazy, but it's a well put together cover. So if you like covers, if you like metal covers specifically, you're going to want to check this one out. Then let's talk about Suicide Boys put out a new single, or a new video, lyric video at least, for a song called Big Shot Cream Soda featuring Shakewell. I don't know the difference. I'm not a big Suicide Boys listener, but this was interesting to me because this is very much in a very specific vein, and that is hip-hop. Like, it's white boy hip-hop, but it doesn't really feel like any too far removed from what I understand as the genre. Not that I am, you know, the most well-versed in hip-hop, but better than some. The reason I felt like this was worth covering on this episode is because Finn McKenty has very recently made statements along the lines of Suicide Boys and the ilk that they have spawned, such as Ghostmane and other similar acts. And I know many people are going to take issue with that comment, but as a relative normie to this subgenre, that's kind of how it's perceived at the very least. He has said, Finn McKenty has said that these guys are the future of punk rock. There ain't nothing punk rock about this sound. Sure, DIY, they're the future of DIY. I can understand that statement, but punk rock, really? Our final piece of new music for the week is actually a little old. It's a couple weeks old, so it's not that old. It's from a band known as Otto, O-T-T-T-O. That's right, 3 T's. This band is noteworthy because one of their members, specifically their bass player, is the son of the bass player from Metallica, Robert Trujillo. The name of the song is My Pain. Heard it on the Liquid Metal radio station on Sirius XM, and I had to talk about it here on the channel because we've talked previously about other kids of famous metalers, specifically Vended, who are the kids of the dudes in Slipknot, and a couple other ones. I believe we talked about New Generation Wu, or whatever the kids of the Wu-Tang Clan, whatever their group is called. We talked about them as well, because I dug that one. Not so much Otto. This is my first exposure to this band, Otto. The production, while better than other kids of metalheads, is okay, is actually pretty great. The actual song doesn't feel, I don't know, it feels a little more radio rock and a little less metal, though that's, you know, to each their own. So nothing against them, just not exactly my bag. If you're gonna look for some good music from kids from Metallica, I would suggest, honestly, Bastardane's Chum, which was their big single a couple of months ago. So yeah, Otto, they're okay, but definitely not the greatest. So that brings us into tours and festivals that have been announced in the last week, and we have one giant one, and that is Guns N' Roses have announced a world tour. For 2023, they will be starting in Tel Aviv, Israel on June 5th, and they will be running through Vancouver, British Columbia, over there in the Canada, on October 16th is the end of that. The majority of dates do take place in the States, but it is flanked on either side with starting in Europe and in the Middle East, because Israel, and then running through America and up into Canada. So if you want to find tickets, there is a link in the description. You're going to have to go a couple of clicks deep, though, because tickets, I believe, were not yet on sale, and I will not have time before this goes up to correct that in the notes if they are on sale by now. So if you want them, there will be a link that will eventually get you to tickets. However, tickets, as I'm recording this, are not currently on sale. So all of that being said, we do have a couple of pieces of regular ass news to talk about as well. So starting off the regular ass news section for music is Killswitch Engage once again. Well, more Killswitch Engage adjacent, and that is specifically Adam Dukowitz, and I know I can't say his name properly. I don't know how you say Adam D's last name properly. And Howard Jones, former vocalist for Killswitch Engage. Apparently, Adam just cannot let his vocalists not be in Killswitch Engage because Adam and Howard are doing a side project together. They have Howard specifically has posted the picture you're seeing on your screen right now to his Instagram, talking about how they're in the studio together going over demos. Which is interesting because when Jesse Leach was not in the band, but Howard was, Adam had a side project with Jesse called, I can't even think of the name of the project now. They did 2 records though, and it's good stuff. It's a little more overtly Christian, but still brilliant because Jesse and Adam equals yes. And also Howard and Adam equals yes. So you can't go wrong as long as, there's some combination of Adam in there. As much as he's kind of, arrogant and such, he's still brilliant when it comes to his git fiddle as well as the production of such things. And I am very excited about the potential for this project because we did just see Howard do another similar project, similar at least in billing, with Jared Dines, famous musical YouTuber dude, who was billing his project with Howard as something resembling Howard Jones era Killswitch Engage. So being as Adam is in Killswitch Engage and he was there during the Howard Jones era, this is only going to be that much better, right? And that Sion record was absolutely great. We're going to get to that actually in just a minute. The other piece of regular ass news is we finally have heard from Fear Factory about their new vocalist. So the name of the kid that is singing for Fear Factory is Milo Silvestro. He is from Italy. He was in a band in Italy. The name of his band is called Dead Channel. They do have a channel on YouTube. I believe I linked it. I do not have it currently linked in the notes, but I will try and find the link because I found it after I finished these notes. I will try and include that link down in the description if you want to go check it out. It's a bit of a different project. It's a lot more electronic and a fair amount less industrial, but there is still a hell of a good heaping amount of metal included with all of that as well. So it's pretty interesting, and the kid has the vocal chops, I think, to pull this off. So we will see exactly how they integrate him into Fear Factory and all of their established content. But the thing that got him the job, according to the video that is currently linked, the first link in this piece down below, the thing that got him the job, according to that, was him doing a cover of Fear Factory by himself in a video of some sort. I don't know if it's on the Dead Channel YouTube channel, but it's somewhere, and I just couldn't find it myself. They do talk about it though in the video linked down below. So very interesting, very, very excited to see where Fear Factory is headed as well. That though is what we've got for regular ass news, and that only leaves room for musical suggestion for the week. Like I said, we're going to get to Sion in just a second, and here we are getting to Sion in just a second. So the Sion record is Howard Jones with Jared Dines. If you do not know Jared Dines, go check out his YouTube channel. He's the guy that does the yearly biggest shred collab for said year, or biggest gent collab for said year every year. He's pretty great himself, but then you throw Howard Jones's damn near perfect vocals into that mix as well, and you have yourself one hell of a metalcore record, my friend. So this is something I said in the notes, check out the song The Blade, but screw that. Do the entire record. This is fantastic music. If you like aggressive music, even slightly, then you will fall in love with this because there's a little bit of something for everybody there.
Once again, nerds, that was a short section that comes from a longer video on the main channel, Generally Nerdy, YouTube or Rumble. Take your pick. I'm on both. You can go find it there. You can go find all of the other news there as well, including the live episode. We do a live episode roughly once a week, every Friday evening. You can join the conversation live, or you can just leave comments here on this one or any of the other ones you find on the Clips channel. Thank you very much, nerds. We've got other news to discuss in other videos, but while we're getting out of here, don't forget that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.